Hello everyone, a few months ago I made a text guide on how to save your Samsung Galaxy Y's battery, which by that I mean keeping the battery alive for a long time, charging it less. And I've decided to make a video of this, so I'm going to show you in this video a few useful tips on how to save your battery life without having a rooted phone, without using apps, basically just turning off functions and other tips such as that. So let's begin. Okay, so tip number one would be to go to settings and from time to time check what's mostly using your battery. So you can do that, for example, by going to settings, applications, and battery use. Now from here you can see what currently is mostly using your battery. In my case, mostly is the standby, then the Wi-Fi, and then the phone just staying idle. So from here you can just see what is mostly using your battery, and you can decide what to turn off and what to keep on. You can also, from this menu, go to running services, and from here you can see which applications are running in the background, and you can turn them off by simply tapping on it and choosing stop. For example, I don't want maps running, I don't want it to consume any memory, and so I just stop it, and so on and on. So you can stop whatever you want from here. So here is tip number two, decreasing the brightness. So this is pretty obvious that if you go to settings, display, and brightness, and of course by using less brightness you consume less energy from your battery. So using the lowest is always best. I prefer to use it to this. I really don't see any problem with using this. Maybe just when I'm outside in daylight I might just put it to this somewhere, but never to this or this. That's just too much, and it consumes a lot of battery, so I just prefer to use it to this level, somewhere in here. That is how I prefer to use it. And tip number three is to turn off the wireless if you're not going to use it. So you can turn off your Wi-Fi if you're not going to use it. For example, you're going outside of home where you don't have any wireless signal, and it's just pointless to have it on because it'll constantly try to scan for wireless access points, and obviously that kind of consumes some energy as well. So it's pretty useless to just keep it on. Whenever you go outside you can just turn it off, and you could save some battery. Also, you could go to advanced, and you should be familiar with the Wi-Fi sleep policy, which is for example, when you turn off the screen, the Wi-Fi turns off as well, so that's kind of good. Tip number four is to turn off Bluetooth if you're not going to use it. This is pretty much like the wireless. For example, you're going around through people, and some may have it turned on like you, or as you can see here now, it is constantly scanning for new devices, and that also consumes some energy for scanning. So if you're not going to use it, why have it on? You can just turn it off. Tip number five, disable GPS and location. Now this one is kind of risky. By turning off this feature, you're somewhat risking of losing your phone, or if you are going to lose it, you lose ability to track it, and like I said, that's kind of risky. So that's up to you if you want to keep this on or off. I personally, no offense to anyone, but I'm not that clumsy to lose my phone, so I just keep it off. I don't really need it. I always keep an eye on my Galaxy Y, and yeah, if you also keep an eye on your Galaxy Y, you can just turn this off. You don't really need it. And tip number six, stay away from live wallpapers. Now obviously live wallpapers are cool. I mean, who doesn't like to see moving things around his wallpaper? That's obviously good, but these are huge battery drainers, unfortunately. Having a live wallpaper on all the time, for example like this, you can kind of see actually how the fishies wag a bit from all of these animations here, the bubbles and everything. So from time to time, and they may wag. So yes, of course this consumes a lot of energy as well. So there is really no need to use live wallpapers. I'm not saying don't buy them, don't download them, but I highly just recommend to stay with the simple live wallpaper, with a simple wallpaper if you want to save battery life. Tip number 7, turning on flight mode. Now this one is kind of obvious as well. I mean, by toggling flight mode on, basically you stop any incoming and outgoing signals from your phone, which saves, which definitely in my opinion saves a lot of battery. So there was this one time I was with like 10% battery, and I really needed my battery, my Galaxy Y, to stay alive for at least 1 more hour. And what I did was I simply turned on flight mode, and yeah, it worked. The phone was stayed at least more than an hour on without giving me any problems. So yeah, this is a good thing to turn on if you do not expect, of course, to receive a call from someone and stuff such as that. Tip number 8: disable sync settings. Now here, the sync settings, you can disable this if you really don't want to receive notifications all the time for new emails and stuff such as that. For example, how I'm getting a notification every time someone posts a comment and stuff such as that. And if you really don't want to have this, you can simply go to accounts and sync, and in there you should see auto sync. It should be turned on. Now from what I can remember, when you add a Google account by default, usually this turns on by itself. So if that is the case, you can just turn it off, and of course that saves some battery as well. So yeah, you won't get any notifications. And that is all, everyone. This was a short guide with 8 tips on how to extend your Samsung Galaxy Young's battery life for daily use. Unfortunately, I couldn't make 10 tips. They were only 8, but still I hope they were helpful to you. And also, you can find a guide on how to calibrate your battery in case you're having battery problems, such as, for example, after 1 hour playing, let's say, Angry Birds, which isn't really normal to have your battery drained fully. I actually have played Angry Birds for at least 2 hours and more, along with that music running in the background, and still my battery was barely like drained half. So if you're having short battery life problems, the first thing you would want to try is to calibrate your battery. I have given instructions in the link in the video description. And then if that doesn't work, then you might consider buying a new battery. So yeah, that is all, everyone. Hope this video was of help, and please subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.